So good afternoon everyone. I hope everyone is doing well there. My name is RJ Francisco Alama, a BSN English second year student of Negros Oriental State University Sharon Campus. And today, we are going to discuss about special and inclusive education. This is under the course at 204 Foundations of Special and Inclusive Education. But before that, let us first have our learning objectives this afternoon. So at the end of the lesson, the students will be able to define special education and inclusive education. Design a simple inclusive classroom strategy that addresses diverse learner and express positive attitudes toward inclusive education by sharing personal insights on why inclusion matters. So now let us proceed to our discussion. So what is special and inclusive education? First, let us define what is special education. So special education refers to individualized instruction and support for children with diverse learning needs, including disabilities, or through individualized education plans or IEPs. So this basically means that it often involves or occurs in specialized classrooms or resource rooms where teachers are trained to tailor their students' educational experiences. So it focuses on creating an environment suitable for students with special needs or disabilities. So it is often through individualized education plans or what we call as IEP. So what is IEP? So IEP is a legally mandated document that outlines personalized education services for students with disabilities. So through that, the students and the teacher and also the parents could be able to have a framework where they can manage their students' learning experiences. Now let us proceed to what is inclusive education or the definition of inclusive education. So inclusive education ensures that all students, regardless of their abilities or needs, learn together in the same classrooms and schools. This is according to Singha in the year 2025. So it promotes equity, diversity, and respect. So inclusive education is now another educational approach where it ensures that all students, regardless of what their abilities are or where they came from or what their backgrounds could be, have the opportunity to learn together in mainstream classrooms or in the same classroom setting. So all students, including with those who have special needs, are provided with equal opportunities to participate in the learning process and adopt to the teaching methods to accommodate diverse learning needs and abilities. This is also through individualized learning or and universal design for learning. So that is inclusive education. Those with students who have special needs or disabilities is included from those who have not. So now let us look into special and inclusive education from a global perspective. So again, inclusive education aims to ensure all learners, including with those disabilities or special educational needs, access quality education without discrimination. So let us look into the perspective of the global. First is the vision of the Sustainable Development Goal number 4 or the SDG 4, which states that ensure inclusive and equitable quality education for all. What is the significance of this? So it is a commitment that all countries, 193 countries around the world have agreed to work towards having inclusive education. So this sets a common benchmark for progress, not just in one country but worldwide, making inclusive education a global priority, not just a local one. So next, let us view into the second perspective under the UNESCO's Global Education Monitoring Report of the 2020. There it emphasizes that inclusion means removing barriers. So, as the UNESCO report states, inclusion is about removing barriers. So what are these barriers? So these barriers can be based through the ability, through the background, such as those in poverty or those who have refugee status, gender, and or identity, whether it is through ethnicity or through language. In this perspective, it's about creating a system where every learner feels they belong and can participate fully. So that is under the UNESCO's Global Monitoring Report, Education Monitoring Report of 2020. In that same report, many countries along the world, despite the different cultures and economies, face similarly the same hurdles or problems. So what are these challenges that every country is experiencing? First one is teaching preparedness, the lack of infrastructures for teachers and those with disabilities, the limited data on excluded groups, and gaps between policy and practice, which we can see that many countries have good laws and policies about this in paper, but they lack or the implementation is questionable. So that is under the global perspectives. Now let us zoom into the perspective of how one nation, our country, the Philippines, is translating those international principles into national action. So, breaking down here, first we have the Republic Act number 11650. A while ago, we discussed about SDG 4, which calls for inclusive, equitable, quality education for all. Now, the Philippines has responded to that framework by enacting this policy, or the Republic Act number 11650, the Inclusive Education Act. So, why is this a big deal, or why is this having great significance in our country? So this law localizes the global commitment. It takes the principle for education for all and creates a legally binding mandate for the Philippine government to promote the right of learners with disabilities and ensure equitable access for all. And it is the foundation that all other policies are built upon. So the next one is, so there the Philippines addresses these head-on with the DepEd Order number 2022-023, or the Child Fine Policy. So what does this do? It creates a systematic process for early identification of learners with disabilities and developmental delays. So of course, you can't include a child if you don't know that they exist and what are their needs are. So this policy is a critical first step to turn the law's promise into a practical reality in communities and schools. So this ensures early identification, monitoring, and support of learners with developmental delays and and disabilities as part of inclusive education efforts. So, the next perspective is the Department of Education, where they continue to emphasize inclusion as a strategic or priority across various programs. So, this means that strengthening special education, or the SPED centers, which provide specialized support, while also ensuring alternative learning models like flexible learning options are inclusive. So the goal here is to have a multi-pronged approach that supports all diverse learners within the broader system. So of course, the Philippines doesn't also just passively receive these global agendas. So it also actively engages by hosting national activities tied to global inclusion, like launching the UNESCO's GEM report. So this act in C is symbolically and practically important, since it shows the alignment with the world, raising a local awareness using global data and framing, and demonstrate that the Philippines is both a participant in and a contributor to the global conversation of inclusive education. So now, let us proceed to the goals and importance of inclusion in education. So what are the goals and importance of inclusion in our education? So the first one is equal access to education. So as we stated a while ago, the first goal is equal access to education, where it ensures that all students, including those with special needs and disabilities, are enrolled in and participate in regular classes or in regular schools. And the next one is equity and social justice. So this promotes fairness by removing the barriers to learning and addressing inequalities in educational system. So that is the goal of inclusion in our education, to promote equity and social justice. The third one is learner-centered pedagogy, or to adopt teaching strategies to suit the diverse learning needs by differentiated instruction, universal design for learning, or UDL. This is done by Priyad Tarsini and Zahaya Mary in 2024 and Lindner in 2020. So our goal is empowerment and independence, which help learners with special needs in achieving independence and become contributing members to the society. And the last one is collaboration among stakeholders, where we encourage collaboration in the development of inclusive practices among educators, among families, among the allied professions, and through the communities. So those are the goals of inclusion in education. So now, let us proceed to the importance of it. First, it is a matter of human rights and a social justice. So, according to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights by the United Nations in 1948, education there is recognized as a basic human right, and exclusion from this perpetuates inequality and discrimination. So in studies of the UNESCO in 2020, this stresses that systems that fail to include all learners are not only ineffective but also unjust. So yes, education is our right. So next importance is improving learning outcomes and overall school quality. This shows that inclusive education benefits not only learners with special needs, but also their peers without disabilities. By promoting differentiated instruction, they will be immersed into different learning styles and strategies. They will be immersed in collaborative learning and flexible teaching strategies. So here, the schools that adopt inclusive practices tend to become more responsible to the diverse learning needs on each student. So this promotes awareness and also inclusion and also empathy to all students regardless of what they have and who they are. So next importance is it promotes social cohesion and acceptance of diversity. So when students learn alongside with their peers from different backgrounds and with varying abilities, they develop empathy, of course, they develop respect and understanding. And over time, these experiences help the stigma and discrimination both inside and outside the school setting to be reduced. And the next importance is addressing educational inequalities. So inclusive education is especially important in addressing educational inequalities linked to most especially in poverty, in geographic location, in disability and language diversity, since it is a key strategy to ensure that no learner is left behind. According to the Department of Education, they promote this, the no learner is left behind, where diversity is most evident and becomes a tool for empowering all learners to participate meaningfully in the society. And the last importance of inclusion in education is it promotes lifelong learning and sustainable development. So by ensuring that every learner acquires essential skills and competencies, inclusion contributes to poverty reduction, greater workforce participation, and more inclusive economic growth. Since we are now breaking the stigma, breaking the discrimination of what those students, those people who have disabilities, who have special needs, to be more included in our society, to become more productive and a contributing citizen in our economy. So those are the importance of inclusion in our education. So to summarize, special education and inclusive education emphasizes that education is a human right, diversity among learners is normal, and schools must change to fit to learners, not the other way around. So this is why inclusion is central and important, not just here in our locality, but across the globe in promoting equitable access of education to all people, regardless of what their identity is, what their abilities are, and what their backgrounds may be. And that's all for our discussion. Thank you so much for listening.